Welcome back. One of the UK's leading mortgage brokers has said that those with a renewal coming up or anyone buying a house should move fast to secure a rate.
Well, mortgage rates, which had been steadily declining through the year, are now ticking back up on the expectations of the Bank of England, raising to hit 5% in November. Let's find out more. Joining us now is Sally Mitchell, the mortgage advisor at The Mortgage Mum. Sally, thank you so much for your time. We gave a very brief summary of what's going on, but just explain why the sudden concern over people trying to get a mortgage to say, do it now.
Well, we've seen hundreds of products being removed from the market in the last few days, and my inbox is groaning with lenders doing the same thing. And today, I mean, literally just before we came on air, or I came on air, another big lender has just said you've got till 8 o'clock tonight to get any outstanding applications in, or we won't honour the rates. And of course, what's happening, which is very scary, is that the rates that they're pulling are being replaced by rates that are, guess what, more expensive, and sometimes 0.5% more, which makes a huge difference to the monthly cost of people's mortgages.
What's the sort of precise reason for this moment that we've reached? Is it because the mortgages, the banks, the building societies don't trust people to be able to pay back their monthly payments?
Well, they do have a real duty of care. Responsible lending is the watchword. It's really, really important. But really, it's a knee-jerk reaction to the inflation figures that were published last week. It was expected that inflation, although it's come down, it's 8.7%, it's better than it was meant to be lower. And it seems to be sticking points like food, alcohol, fuel, tobacco that have made it not come down quite as much as the market thought and the market had priced in. So now the market is looking at it thinking, oh, crikey, no, this is not what we wanted. Actually, it's going to cost us more to borrow. There was a run on the stock market, not a huge one, but there was a bit of a run. And they've got to reprice their products because they simply can't afford to lend at that rate because it will cost them money. That's the problem.
This is really, really stressful for lots of people going through that process either today or who knew that they needed to have their mortgage, let's say, renewed in the next couple of weeks or even couple of months. What's your advice to anyone right now, right in the thick of it?
It's so difficult. First of all, get a broker. Because they can look at the whole market for you. Don't try and do this on your own. It is too stressful and it's too difficult. You really need to be looking at everybody across the market to see who can get you the best or give you the best deal, And also if there are any tweaks that you can make, perhaps extending your term, perhaps looking at interest only for a very short time, if it's appropriate. But the most important thing when something like this happens, and it has happened in the last 6 months before, is to make sure that you are mortgage ready. So when we get this battle call of, you have 4 hours or 2 hours or a day, you have all your documentation ready. You've given it to your broker who is, sitting there waiting to push the button, believe me. And then you can jump on the opportunity instead of scrabbling around and missing the window because you just haven't quite got things in order. So it sounds like a really basic thing, a bit of housekeeping, but that can save an awful lot of stress and stop you missing the boat.
Sally, there's a whole generation of mortgage holders now who are learning that when interest rates go up, so do their mortgage repayments, because, of course, we had this long period of time where interest rates remained incredibly low and never changed. So people got mortgages and thought, well, this is my repayment and this will be the repayment for the rest of my life. Well, now they're discovering it's not. And we know that loads and loads of people, huge numbers of people, are really struggling to make their new higher payments per month. Now, they're literally defaulting on these payments. What are the mortgage companies going to do about it? What are the banks going to do? They can't just repossess all of these houses. How do we get through this crisis?
Well, that really is the last resort. Obviously, a lender who has a charge over your property has every legal right, if you default, to take that property, that security away. But believe me, it's not what they want to do. I haven't come across it. The bad old days when it happened a lot, and I do remember them back in the early 2000s. It does happen, but they do everything they can to speak to the mortgage holder to try and work out some sort of way, some sort of payment holiday, some sort of underpayment that will get them through the sticky patch. But the most important thing when you're looking at a mortgage is that your affordability is assessed. So you have to be absolutely scrupulously honest about your outgoings and what money you do have over to spend on a mortgage, because if you don't get that right, and again, a good broker should be doing that for you, you can hit a little bit of trouble, and it's not fun.
In your role, Sally, it's been very turbulent sort of 6 to 9 months for you.
Yes.
What kind of conversations are you having with people right now? What's the advice they're looking for?
Stick or twist.
Yeah.
That's stick or twist.
But what
do I say?
Sorry, I'm interrupting you there. Sorry. I was just going to say, what is the advice to people? What is your advice as an expert to people who find themselves in a position when they can't repay their mortgages? I would assume the first thing is don't ostrich-like bury your head in the sand. No,
ask for help. Go straight to your broker who helped you in the first place, or direct to your lender. The lenders have departments specifically set up to help, and their duty of care is very well prescribed. It has to be. It's one of their founding foundations. They have to look after their clients. So they will have schemes, they will have support, they will have help. You can go to Step Change, you can go to Citizens Advice Bureau, all really, really good organisations. But as you say, the most important thing is don't bury your head in the sand. You have to face it, and you won't be alone. Now, I read the other day that people apparently get into an average of £8,000 worth of debt. And that's not revolving debt on credit cards, that's debt that they cannot pay off. And it takes till they're at £8,000, which could be arrears, before they say, "Oh, I've got a problem. I think I better do something." Now, £8,000 on current interest rates is frightening. So the sooner you do something about it or admit that there is an issue, the better. And there is help out there, but I'm not saying it's not a really, really dire situation for some people.
Yes, it's very worrying. Thank you very much. Thank you to Sally Mitchell, the mortgage advisor at The Mortgage Mum. Have you been hit by your mortgage going up in price? Are you struggling to pay? Get in touch, 0344 499 1000.
Coming up.